Hey guys, Underground Geek here, and for this rant video I just want to start out by saying, does anybody like that singer Halsey as much as I do? I mean, I feel like, every now and then we get those singers that could just make anything sound good, and honestly they give her pretty crappy songs and she can just turn them into something pretty good. But I've always preferred women singers singing like house songs over regular singers. A lot of times if they have a good voice like that, I just like it. But anyway, on to the rant. Okay, this video is going to be about local comic book stores, and as I'm driving on my way to work in honor of diversity in comics, I just want to talk about the problem that is local comic book stores nowadays. Now he just had a video where he was talking about that the local comic book store he goes to didn't order enough of Miracle Man, so by the time he got there it was already gone. And I'll go ahead and tell you, we didn't really have a local comic book store up until just a couple of years ago in my town, and when they opened up, my first impression was, well, this is not going to last, because they did the building halfway, they did the shelving halfway, everything was halfway. It was almost like, let's do this as cheap as possible, as quickly as possible, and let's just hope it makes money. And you can't really do that, because there's a lot of good comic book stores out there. There's a couple that are like an hour away from me that are, I think, pretty decent. Like they're a bigger store and they have a lot of things. So if you're gonna do something, do it all the way. Like if I had a comic book store, I talked about this many times with my friends. There's a friend of mine that he likes. I think he likes maybe Marvel more, and I like DC more, even though I still like Marvel. And we were going to open up a comic book store called The Oracle, and I thought that would have been a good name, in honor of comic books, and have a DC corner, have a Marvel corner, and then have an independent corner, and then have a back room that like you could hang out with your friends and go back there and read, and have like maybe comic book readings and stuff like that. I thought that'd be neat, and like really do it all the way. Spend some serious money, get the right kind of shelving and building and paint and all that kind of stuff, and make it look nice, and order the right things. Not turn it into an FYE or something like that where you're selling pop characters more than you're selling comic books. But my local comic book store, they opened up, and after the first month or so, it was very apparent they didn't know what they were doing. They mostly were trying to move over into the magic card side, because it's quick money. When you sell magic cards, people are going to buy lots of little packs. They're going to come play on the weekends and things like that. Now, I don't know if they charge. I think they charge like a cover fee to come play in those tournaments, and they should. Like, if you're going to hang out all day, you're going to have to give me $5. I'm sorry. But I really think that they should have done the comic book side a little bit more, because let me just put it in perspective. Like this week they had Old Man Logan, which was a big deal, and Mr. Miracle, which was a big deal. And neither one of those got ordered by my local comic book store. They didn't order either one of those, and I couldn't believe it. I went up there and I was looking at it, and I kind of forgot that it came out because they didn't order it. And so I'm looking around, I'm grabbing up things, I'm grabbing up Teen Titans and all those, and then I go back home and I'm looking at the comic list that came out, and I said, wait a second, Mr. Miracle didn't get there, and Old Man Logan didn't get there. These were two serious issues. These were big deal issues. And uh-oh, there is a car that has run off the road. I guess it's just happened, so we'll see how this goes. Alright, I drove by it. There's police already there and everything, but that's crazy. His car just laid off in the road. Obviously he hasn't been paying attention. He just fell off the road. But anyway, so they didn't order any of them. And now my local comic book store is somewhat intelligent, so now they have stopped ordering most of the Secret Empires, because I'm sorry, but even though the economy is better, people are not going to buy comic books that aren't good anymore. Like, they're getting tired of it, and they're not going to spend $3 to $4 to $5 on comic books that aren't good. Just like that Spider-Man, I think it was number 25, was supposed to be like $10 because it's thick. They've got like 2 or 3 of them left because people didn't buy them, because, you know, it's like, sorry, we're not going to buy into this crap anymore. So they stopped buying them, because what had happened was, when they first opened this store, like DC Rebirth and stuff like that was coming out, and they would not order enough copies of these comics when they come out. So what they would do is they would reorder them. Well, by that time you would get them back in a week or so, and people's already bought them. Like, the bubble's already popped. They're not going to go and buy that copy from last week from you now. They've already read it. There's too many places you can go and read it. And so now you've got 10-15 copies of last week's issue, and they're going to sit there until the end of time. And they don't push the issues. Like, I would take all the other old issues. If they were a month old, they're coming off the shelves, and I'm going to put them over there for like $2, you know? And I'm going to move them. Or I'm going to take them somewhere, and I'm going to wholesale them or something like that, and get them out of the way. Well, they're not, and they're starting to build up, starting to fall off the shelves. Now you got Secret Empire that's come out. It's sitting all over the shelves because nobody's buying it. So you're getting lots of problems. But anyway, they didn't order the issues that I was looking for, the Mr. Miracle and Old Man Logan. So I got what I could. You know, I did reviews on that. They had Batman Detective Comics 962, which was an awesome issue. They had Bat suit on there, and he's like tearing that robot a new one. You need to check my review out on YouTube about that. But anyway, so then my only other option is to go to BAM, or Books A Million. And I don't like going there because they're a chain store. They charge too much for the comics. They charge like $7 for a comic book, which is atrocious. And, you know, now they've turned into an FYE. They're selling pop characters and all this kind of stuff, but you can tell they're not really fans because they don't order the right stuff. And so I go in there, and they don't even have any new comics. And I asked the guy, I said, hey, did you order any Mr. Miracle? Well, I don't really know, but, you know, if it didn't come on the truck. So pretty much what you're telling me is Books A Million orders everything for you, and you're just there. Like, your responsibility is to get it out of the box and put it on the shelf, so you don't know what's coming. And so he says, well, they come on Sunday, so if they're supposed to be here this week, they'll be here next Sunday. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. There's no way that's true. What's happened is y'all didn't order any. And that's dumb, because if you were comic fans, you would have ordered Old Man Logan and Mr. Miracle, because Old Man Logan is one of the saving graces for Marvel right now. But anyway, so I go there, they don't have it. I'm home, you know, and I'll download comics a lot of times, because I'm not going to buy comics if they're not good. Like, I'm not going to give these people money if the comics aren't good. I'm sorry. You don't deserve my money if you make bad comics, and I want you to make good ones, so I'm only going to buy the ones that I think are good, because those are the ones that deserve the money. Those writers, editors, and artists, and sketchers, and inkers deserve the money over the people that make bad comics. So here I am, no Mr. Miracle, no Logan 27, and I really think that we need real fans to make comic book stores. Just because you read a couple comics in high school in the 80s does not make you a comic book fan. You know, they put their personal collection out there and sold it on the stands. You know, they have little boxes on the side there. They'll sell them. And it's pretty obvious that they're not that big of fans, because some of the collections are just, you know, blah, blah, blah. Now, they do have a huge collection of the new 52 Green Lantern, so obviously they were fans of that. But some of the other stuff is just a little, you know, generic, and you can tell they sold all the good ones and kept the other ones and blah, blah, blah. So I really wish that I had the capital to just start a new one, because if I started a comic book store, that one would go out of business, because I would do it right. I would have the right comics there. I would order enough. I would put manga in. Yeah, like this local comic book store doesn't even have manga at all. They don't have any of that, and it's obviously they know what it is, because I heard them talking about their son likes it and it's annoying. That's what they said. And I was like, oh, okay, so that's cool. So this is a major selling thing. Manga is sold very well, and you're letting Books A Million outsell you on it. So, you know, that's just a little bit of my rant about it. I really wish that these local comic book stores would get it together and sell the right product. And I wish I had the capital to maybe start the Oracle. Maybe one day I will. Who knows? I may pull the trigger and just do that. But I don't know. It just kind of blows my mind how sometimes people are so inept about a business. Like, I don't know if you watch that show Bar Rescue on the Spike channel, but I like watching that because John Taffer gets on there and he just dogs people that don't know how to run their business, because you put all that money and you didn't even take the time to hire somebody that knew what they were doing. Like, wouldn't you take the time, get everything together, and do it the right way? I mean, you just don't go for something and go, well, I hope it does good. And it's really apparent that that's how this local comic book store is done. They bank everything on the magic cards, they bank everything on tournaments, stuff like that. And you go in there and they're just kind of sitting there, blah, 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 hanging out. And I'm like, man, I really wish these people were serious about what they were doing. I wish they were real comic fans and real manga fans and would put the right stuff out there. They could make some serious money. But anyway, that was just my rant. Tell me what you think about the local comic book store situations in your town, and what you think about my situation, and what do you think about my idea for the comic book store. Now, it would be a very interesting store because my friend is an extreme liberal and I'm not, so it'd be funny us running a store together because we'd probably get in a lot of arguments in the store. But anyway, light side, dark side, Sith and Jedi there. But yeah, just let me know what you think. Hit the thumbs up, hit the notification button, and thanks for listening. All right, bye.